Hey folks, Daddy needs his paycheck, so we're gonna go ahead and do a Colosseum run here. This is the setup that I cooked up a little while ago, and I already did the full run. We're gonna watch it back together in a little media player here. I'm gonna pause, rewind, jump around a little bit. I like this setup for a number of reasons. One, it kind of mimics like full Masori Northwest pillar, but obviously much cheaper. If you don't have a T-bow, BOWFA will work. You can do full crystal with the BOWFA. One, you'll get, it's the same range as T-bow. You get the same kind of vibes. It's Iron Man friendly. But two, with this setup here, the inventory that I have, you get a ton of resources. Way more Cerebrews, way more restores, way more raging potions than you'll ever need. So you can take as much time as you want. And then on top of that, the death fee is only like 21k with the ornament kits on. So like you'll see that I have the Fury ornament kit and the Dragon Boots ornament kit and the Whip ornament kit. These all make the items untradeable, so you don't have to pay a death fee for them. And even without the ornament kits, this is like a 53k death fee. So as you can see, we're taking, 9 Sarahs and then probably 11 restores. Then here's the death fee, 21k. Absolutely abysmal. So yeah, if you're looking for a setup that like kind of gives you the feel of like doing it in max, or maybe that you're, maybe you do have max, but you just can't really afford the 500k death fee every single time, this is the guide for you. Or if you're a Helmy, everyone's got fucking BOWFA. This is very... you can easily clear in just a BOWFA, but it's definitely going to be a hell of a lot slower than it would be if you were doing it in max. All right. Anywho, that shit out of the way. Let's begin. I held off on doing this for quite some time because one Colosseum run usually does not get you enough information to really, like, it doesn't give you enough of the like really weird wave solves. You usually don't get them all in. Sometimes you get through without a double south. But this one actually has a good amount of stuff. And a good amount of meat in it that we'll be able to talk through. Here's the 6 tiles. This is a great picture. I got 1 tile here. This is Northwest Pillar. 1 tile 2 to the south of that. 1 tile 2 to the south and diagonal of that. I guess technically this is east. But then another one. 1, 2, 3 over. 1, 2 down. 1 on the north, rotated around here. 1 right here. 1 off the pillar. And then from the corner of the pillar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of these are important for different reasons. Feel free to mark them. I'll probably toss them down in the description or some shit. We'll go over it here in a little bit. But with all the waves, this is going to be our starting tile, except for, as you saw here, on wave 1. We don't do that because we can't actually talk to Minimus from around the pillar. So we'll just start wherever, run behind the pillar, praying Mage, as Mage is our first guy, and then go ahead and start. So let's go ahead and walk that back. I'm just starting anywhere in the middle here. I do drop the Cerebrew because we don't have enough space in our inventory, to two-hand the BOWFA. Drop a Cerebrew wherever you want. Talk to Minimus from wherever you can reach them. And then we always select Blasphemy at the start. Frailty lowers your health by 10, then another 10, then by another 20. So Frailty 1, 2, and 3 is 90 health, 80 health, and 60 health respectively. Not great for a learner. You can definitely get 2-shot way easier if you're taking too many frailties. Relentless is similar. There are going to be a lot of times where you get chanced, so you're relying on a little bit of defense and RNG to not get smacked. Relentless takes away 33%, 66%, and 100% of your defense in that order. Blasphemy, just whenever you're hit, you take a little bit of prayer damage. So like you take a 5, you lose 1 prayer point. That's the gist, as you can read on there, 20%. So we always take Blasphemy. Pretty free invocation, especially as you get better. You won't be hit, and if you're not hit, you're not losing prayer. Doesn't fucking matter. Even if you are getting hit, you've got way too many restores to give a shit. In this recording, I do think I forget to pre-pot, but at this point, you grab your ranging potion, grab one of your prayer regen potions. We have a super combat for later when we're doing soul. We'll ignore him for now, but pre-pot with your ranging and your prayer regen. Click on Blasphemy, click continue. Toss on that mage prayer, and off we go. Starting with the trident in our hand every single time. It will take 2 trident hits to hit the berserker. I like to hit control click to walk the Fremnix. Whip out the whip. Whip out the whip. Whip out the whip. Smack the ranger and then get your BOWFA out and kill the major. That's going to be the order every single time. Control walking. There's a lot that goes into why this happens. The berserkers all attack on a certain cycle, and control walking just helps you avoid getting chipped down while you're running around. You don't have to be perfect. Sometimes they will hit you. It's not something we're going to explain here. Really not that big of a deal. Every 40 seconds, I've got the timer up here on the Colosseum plugin. Every 40 seconds, reinforcements will come in. For the first wave, it's just a ranger. So the whole premise of Colosseum is we're getting these fuckers stuck behind a pillar so that we can kill them. I don't have it marked, but the brain of all monsters in the game are their southwest tile. So this is north here, this is south, and then west. I wish I had a marker to draw. That would be fun. Anywho, this is their brain. They can see you, so they're not going to move around the pillar, right? If I were to go over here, he'd want to move his southwest tile here and then come grab me. But because we're standing on the south side of the pillar here, his brain, which is in his southwest corner, can see me, so he thinks, okay, I don't need to keep moving. I've got eyes on him. That's good enough. And so much of the Colosseum will just be running behind this pillar, getting everything stacked up, dealing with the Fremniks, and then slowly whittling down whatever stack you have back here. Anytime the wave is complete, or the last guy is dying, always run back to our starting tile here. Alright, what do we have? Not good options. Bees. Bees are going to bees are going to spawn a constant stream of bees that'll come in and continue to attack you. Huge pain in the ass, never pick it. Re-entry is okay to take in later waves. As you'll see in the next wave here, we'll have a Javelin Colossus, and he tosses a spear up into the air, and it comes down and boom, smacks onto the ground. Usually it doesn't leave anything behind, but with re-entry, it leaves a puddle of piss. And if you stand in the piss, you take damage. Re-entry, I think 2 or maybe 3 makes it permanent. And just having these puddles and these tiles ragged makes it very hard to do some solves, especially if the spear lands in the wrong spot. Like I said, it's okay to take it in the later waves when you're not going to have to care anymore because you're going into soul, but for starting out, much too difficult. Even though I just said I don't recommend frailty for beginners, this is one of those sad situations of RNG where frailty is really just our best choice here. So we're grabbing frailty, and every single time I start the wave, I select frailty, I click continue, and immediately after I hit continue, we click on this tile that I have marked out here. We'll watch it again in just a second. Spraying range, and then as soon as my true tile reaches this tile, we're running back. Go ahead and start that again. The reason I do that is because depending on where you're standing in the arena, monsters will spawn in different positions. If you're standing on this tile, 5 ticks after you click the continue button, or 3 ticks after you click, I don't even know, a certain amount of time after you click continue, then they all spawn in like the most optimal position. You'll never have anything back here. It's all going to spawn up here or double south, which we'll get to, and then when you run back, it all slots in behind the pillar nicely. By clicking continue and clicking out here and running, and then immediately clicking back once your true tile reaches this, you don't have to sit here and count ticks in your head at the start of the wave. You can just click what you want, continue, click to the tile, and then immediately click back once your true tile's there. The wave's set up for you. Zero thought. Continue, tile, and click back. Done. So we do have a south spawn here. Like I said, every once in a while we'll have either 1 or 2 guys spawn south. Sometimes you'll get through an entire run, you'll never see it. The chances are low, but they're non-zero, so it can happen on any wave starting from, you can start on wave 1, get a major down there. On any of the waves, you can wind up getting a south or a double south. We'll go over a couple of ways to solve this, and I will walk through a Manticore double south that I think I get a little bit later. But for now, all you need to know is that if there's one guy south, just pray whatever he is. So you're going to click here, your true tile is going to reach, and you're going to click back, and then you're going to look. You're going to look right away. Oh, it's a major. Toss on Mage prayer, right? You saw that I started with range, but I switched to Mage here, and we're good to go. Again, click the Berserker, control click somewhere, switch to your melee, click the Ranger, control click somewhere. And when I say control click somewhere behind the pillar, you know, in this 3x3 area. And then once the Mage is left, Bob's your uncle. So I'll explain what I do here. I do fuck up, which is good. I like to show me fucking up. I'm not some perfect PVM master. You'll see that once I had the Ranger dead, you know, I had time to breathe. I had time to think. And what I was thinking was, now with a BOWFA, you can range this guy from here, right? It's not a big deal. But I wanted to illustrate, you know, sometimes, especially like if you have myopia, which shortens your attack range. If you have myopia, sometimes you'll want to rotate north, or in the case of double souths, you'll want to rotate north. So what do? So I've got the breathing room, right? And I want to pull him in closer so that my BOWFA with myopia, quote unquote, could reach him. What I'm going to do, and again, I screw it up here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for him to see his attack animation. I see it. I should click range here instead of running forward, but I'd click range and then I'd run forward. And then I wouldn't take damage from this guy, right? And then he's going to start walking in. And then as soon as I see him attack, I did it right here, I switch to my Mage prayer and come back. Take a little bit of damage. You're not going to die, but we have so many Sarahs that we can afford to make stupid plays like this. and it's a lot easier than solving it in any other way, at least in my humble opinion. I'd rather take a 40 to the face and chug some yellow than memorize all these complex solves. That's just who I am. Similarly to what we talked about before, right? The Jaguar's down here. His southwest tile can see me, so we're safe behind the pillar. Minotaurs will come later with the reinforcements on wave 7 and onwards, and they're a 3x3, so you can actually stand in these 2 tiles here. But as a reminder, especially while he's down here, you know, his brain, so to speak, his southwest tile is always going to try and line up with you. So if you were to step 1 tile down, he's going to come in here and claw you. All right, Javelin Colossus. Just pray range. Very simple. I think it's every 5 attacks. He will huck a spear up into the air, just like that. Step away after you see him do... Let's see, I can slow it down, I think. Hell yeah. After you see him throw it into the air, you are good to step away. And then he'll just come down, do a little explosion, continue ranging. Alright, and once he's dead, back to our starting tile. What do we got next? Blasphemy 2, always better than... Oh, geez. Fucking... Quick draw McGraw there. Let me slow that down for everyone. We see that we got Blasphemy 2 and Frailty 2. So you're given 3 random options. Generally, the game's going to try and give you 2 or 3s. So like if you've picked Blasphemy 1, you're more likely to see Blasphemy 2 and Blasphemy 3. But once you've taken 3, that's the highest that goes, and it's out of the pool so that you can see different kinds of modifiers. Generally, my personal preference is Blasphemy, Myopia, Solar Flare, and... I'm blanking. What's going on? My 4 main ones that I like are Blasphemy, Myopia, Solar Flare, and Volatility, and I'll explain why as they come up. Anywho, I know what I want to pick. I snap pick Blasphemy 2, click Continue, click on our tile. True tile reaches it, back we go. No one's in the south spot. That's perfect. We love it. Go ahead and deal with the Berserker. Control click somewhere else. Whip out the melee. Attack the Ranger. Control click somewhere else. Switch to Mage for the last guy. Take care of them. Alright, so you can go out on the north side of the pillar as long as both the guys are the exact same style. In this case, Rangers. Totally fine to run to the north side. They're both going to see you at the same time. They're both going to attack with the same style, so it doesn't matter. Doing range, getting a little bit of damage out there. Stepping away from the explosions when necessary. Now, why did I do that? I did that for a couple of reasons. One, I wanted to demonstrate what'll happen when, and believe me, it's when, this happens a lot, where you have a little guy, and you can see his tile highlighted here. You got a little guy in front of a big guy. All you gotta do is stand next to the pillar at some point, and waddle back and forth, and he'll unstuck himself. So once he's unstuck, step out to the south side, he sees you, and since he's stuck here attacking you, whoever else is behind the pillar is stuck. He can't move. He's trying to, but there's a Major in the way, so he can't get to you. Pray Mage, as soon as he's dead, switch to range, take care of the last guy. Easy peasy. Our boy's dead, we run back to our starting tile. What do we got next? Blasphemy 3, Doom or Totemic. Totemic you're never going to want to pick. At half health for every single monster, including Soul, a totem that heals them spawns. And you only have to, it only takes, 1 hit to kill them, but it's very, very annoying to have to switch off and deal with an ad that is going to heal them all the way back up to full if you don't. Doom, I have similar opinions on, like Frailty. If you take 15 hits in 1 wave, that includes Soul, you just instantly die. So if you take 15 points of damage, it could be 15 ones. If they hit you for 15 times, at any point throughout the wave, you're dead. Then Doom 2 is 10, Doom 3 is 5. So it just has that kind of air of like, even if I'm slowly getting chipped down, I might just be done. I don't like that, especially when you get to Soul. Personal preference, some people much prefer it. Totally up to you. I'm going to take Blasphemy 3 here so I can get it out of the pool and start the next wave. Continue, click, Praying Mage, coming back. Manticore South. Now I prayed Mage here. Just want to clarify this quick. I prayed Mage here because this is one of the last waves where you're going to need to pray Mage at the start. Wave 1, you pray Mage because there's only a Major. Wave 4, you pray Mage because there's a Major and a Manticore, and the Manticore is not going to be charged up right away. Every other wave, pretty much, you're praying range. So, control click, deal with the Berserker, wait for him to charge up. I see that he's going to be range. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I sit down and I take hits from the Mages or from the Fremniks, and that's okay. What we're worried about right now is not dying to the Manticore. We're worried about what he's doing. And so Manticores, in case you didn't pick up on it there, fire 3 attacks. They'll either start with Mage, range, and melee, or in this case, range, Mage, and then melee. What you're going to do is you're going to pray against whatever they have at the bottom there. And then as soon as you see this ball leave the tail, right, you can see that it's leaving. You can see my mouse hovering here. So I'm praying range at the start. As soon as that leaves the tail, I'm switching to Mage here. And as soon as the Mage ball leaves, I'm switching to melee. Easy peasy. I'll slow that down for the next one. Takes 5 ticks to charge back up. And then range leaves, I switch to Mage. Mage leaves, I switch to melee. Melee leaves, I go back to the start. Easy peasy. On waves 4 and up, you will get a Mage as well as a meleeer. Now in this instance, we'll go back and watch that, but in this instance, the Mage slotted himself in just nicely. I'll show how to rotate to South Pillar later, but sometimes a Mage is going to come in and he's going to be hitting you on the same attack that the range is. Like, let's say that the range ball was leaving at the same time the Mage guy was firing at me. There would be no way for me to pray against both, and so I would just wind up taking chip damage every 5 ticks, right? But what I did is I paid attention, right? And I don't know that I've covered this clearly yet, but with all monsters in the Colosseum, when you see their attack animation start, similar to what I just described at the Manticore, when you see their attack animation start, you can switch off the prayer, right? So if I see the Major starting his animation, I'm good to switch off of Mage at that point. And so what I'm doing here is I see he's going to be walking down and seeing me, so I switch to Mage. I see him cast the Mage, I switch right back to range. Range leaves, I switch to Mage. Mage leaves, I switch to melee. Melee leaves, I switch to Mage. I see him attack. Wait for him to charge up. I see him attack. Switch to range. See the range leave, switch to Mage. See the Mage leave, switch to melee. Easy peasy. That generally comes from kind of a sense of like just doing it, and that's why I recommend a guide like this where it has like 20k death fee, because the only way you're really going to learn this content is not through some jackass yelling through a microphone on YouTube. It's not going to be through We Do Raids. It's not going to be through any amount of advice you get from Reddit. It's going to be you actually playing the fucking game. And so this is just something that comes from like over time. You know, you kind of build up a feel for these things. You know that as soon as his animation starts, you're good to switch off. You kind of get a feel for when this will slot in. Now, that being said, if that wasn't going well, if you were feeling panicky, what I would suggest is, hey, I see the Mage coming down. I'm going to pray against Mage. I'm going to deal with the Manticore. Now that his attacks have left, I see a Mage up front, or I see a Mage on top of the pillar here, and I see a Mage here. I'm going to pray Mage, and I'm going to fuck off to the South Pillar. I'll show you how to do that later, but it basically just involves running to the South Pillar and hiding behind it on the south side here. And then everything usually will slot into a more favorable position. Anywho, a lot of yapping there. This is just the cycle again, right? Deal with the Manticore, pray Mage. Pray Mage, as soon as the Mage guy's attack stops, go deal with the Manticore, back to Mage. Just flicking 2 monsters at once. Fucked up right there. I wasn't even paying attention. I was taking a drink of water. Happens. This is why we bring 9 Sarahs. Alright, Manticore's dead. We can now breathe easy. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward here a little bit because we don't need to be watching all of this. And then, of course, once this Mage is dead, the big tile guys, his brain's right here, he's not going to attack us. I'm going to go ahead and drink up to 90. Remember, I have Frailty 1, so 90 is my max HP now, sadly. I'm going to take care of him, and as soon as he's dead, I'm running back to my start tile. Alright, what do we got? Myopia and Volatility, 2 of my favorites. Myopia shortens your attack range by 2, shortens it by 4, shortens it by 6, 1, 2, 3, respectively. Volatility makes everything explode when it dies. First in a 3x3 tile, then in a 2x2 tile, and then a 2x2 tile, but it leaves like a yellow splat, similar to Reentry afterwards. Sorry, I shouldn't say 2x2. 1 tile expanding out from their box, so like if it's a 2x2 guy, it'll be like a 4x4 box. Hard to explain, you'll see it in just a second here. Anyways, since Myopia, I don't have to dodge anything, this is going to be the pick for me. With a BOWFA or a T-bow, you can safely sit on this row, like these first 3 tiles, and range any south spawn that comes in. So as long as the south spawn is like pulled up right here, and I'll show you how to pull them in, you just stand on this tile for a little bit, you can sit on this row, even with Myopia 3, and range this guy. Very nice. -4 turns your BOWFA from a 10 range into a 6 range. Still plenty of room to go and hit a guy in the south. Anyways, pick myopia, continue, click on our tile. We're praying range. We click back. Nothing in the south. Free to breathe. Good shit. Click on the berserker, control click, stay behind the pillar. Switch to, it doesn't really matter, but I guess I'm switching to BOWFA here. Dealing with the major, control click. Major, control click. And then since I'm praying range against the ranger, just melee him, and we're done. This is interesting. Mage guy is stuck in the middle here. This will make for weird solves, and I know we haven't shown any real big boy solves yet. Believe me, we're getting there. I apologize. Not the gapping, but I figure if you saw the length of this video, this is what you signed up for. So we can, again, wiggle back and forth on the pillar here. And then we get him down here. And remember, the guy in the back can see us, right? He'll be able to see us when we step out here. But since the Manticore has to charge up first, we're free to just pray Mage and step out. And I think what I'm trying to show here is that as long as you're stepping out, the Major will walk down the side here. And I'll show that here in a second, hopefully. I think I deal with the reinforcements first. Things to note, when you have guys behind the pillars, the reinforcements will sometimes catch. See how the Manticore is slid over here and the Ranger's slid over here? Sometimes the Major or the Minotaur or whoever will walk down and get caught on here, and that's just a whole mess of problems. Always make sure that you're standing towards this edge, in the middle or towards this edge, just so that these guys are lined up and create this nice little wall here. That way they can just slide down, or the reinforcements can just slide down. Anywho, deal with the melee first, and then the Major. Really not that interesting. I kill the Ranger, or I kill the melee, and then I pray Mage as soon as he's dead. And I don't know what this plugin is for the HPs above it. I think this is just part of the Colosseum plugin. I don't remember it, though. Might be monster HP percentage. Who knows? Anywho, this is what these tiles are for. You don't need to use this for a small major, but you will need to use it for bigger D-stacks, and I'll show that, I believe, in a clip. Didn't happen in this run, but I believe I have a D-stack clip that I can show you. Anywho, these tiles help to unfuck certain issues. So like a stack of 3 guys where you wouldn't be able to just rotate between 2 monsters, or like a major who's stuck. All you're going to do, in this situation, you don't even have to pray against anyone besides the mage, but in this situation, you'll pray the mage. You'll get him to walk out here, and then you'll walk right back behind the pillar on this row so that it creates that wall, similar to what we were talking about over here. It creates that wall, and then he's going to walk himself all the way down here, and you're just going to deal with him as normal. No big deal. And again, with a small major, you can do that from like just this row. You don't have to step all the way out like I did there. But with a 3x3 monster, you would want to step all the way out, 3 tiles out, so that he can come out. And then again, you'd run back to this tile, and he would slide down the wall, just like we were talking about. All right. Our first big boy stack. All right. We have 2 3x3 monsters. They're stacked next to each other on the east side of the pillar, right? Or on the top side, whatever you want to call it. What are they attacking with? Well, the Ranger, the Javelin Colossus, he attacks with range. I know that. In the Manticore, it looks like since he's charged up, after revealing that, or after he saw us bring the Major down, he charged up and he showed us that he's doing range, okay? And also a thing of note, kind of self-explanatory, but thing of note, once a Manticore charges up, he's going to stay the same way for as long as he's alive. After he's charged up, he's locked in. If he's charged up as a Ranger, he's charging up as a Ranger every single time, so you don't have to worry about anything like that. But because the Ranger's in the front, the Ranger's in the back, we want them to see us on the same tile. So we're going to stand at the very south edge of this tile, right? 1 tile away. All we have to do is click right here to step out. We're going to start by praying range. And we step out. Doesn't matter where we step out. We can step out here, 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 here. Oops. We step out. Clicking too much. And then it's just solving a Manticore. That's all it is. See? Because every 5 ticks, for those of you who are learning ticks or can feel ticks, you can definitely feel it here. Every 5 ticks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be range. And then as soon as the Manticore ball leaves, to mage, to melee, back to range. And you'll never have to worry. I'm going to slow it down real quick, just for one look. We're going to see him toss this in the air, right? We're going to step away after it leaves his hand. And then as soon as the ball leaves, range to mage, mage to melee, melee back to range, and there's nothing to worry about. So a lot of the times you'll wind up with a ranger and a manticore stack, or a major and a manticore stack. People will ask, who do you kill first? Kind of comes down to preference. I don't like flicking between the 3 balls. I would much rather just camp a prayer and turn my brain off. Some people don't like having to move a tile every 5 attacks with the Javelin Colossus. Kind of just comes down to personal preference. I'll leave that up to you. Alright. Ranger's dead. We're back to our starting tile, and I want you to take note quick of our supplies. Obviously, I've got like 200 KC. I'm a little bit better than someone who's just starting. But even so, we're going into wave 6, which is halfway there. Arguably one of the hardest waves. 6 and 11 are generally what we consider the most difficult. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 full doses of brew, plus 1 dose. I could have been potting my range pots even more, honestly. I've got lots of extras just in case I have to brew myself down. And then basically all of our restores left. I think I'm drinking 1.5 or 1 and 1 dose of restores, and then 2 of my restoration potions. Really not a huge supply drain at all. Like I said it before, that's the wonderful thing about this build. If you're learning, you don't have to be afraid to chug yellow. You just you got so much. Just worry about getting further. Chug as much yellow as you can. Don't worry about maintaining supplies. This is not the Inferno. Anywho, you can see me repotting here. I like myopia too. Wave 6 is one of the hardest. You're going to have 2 rangers. I'm taking myopia again. Let's see what happens. It's been a while since I've recorded this. I actually forget what happens. Okay, we've got a south spawn, all right? We've got a major, but everything else is going to slot back in. So I switch to my mage prayer. Start walking. Kill the berserker. Control click. Click the berserker. Control click. Click the major after switching to my BOWFA. Control click. I don't think I clarified it at the beginning, but the Fremniks are just the attack triangle, so you're always going to max hit on the Berserker with Mage, because he's melee. You're always going to max hit on the Mage with range, because he's Mage. And then you're always going to max hit on the Ranger with melee, because she's range and it's melee. Attack triangle. That's why we're switching weapons, and that's why we're doing this. Anywho, similar to what we had in the beginning. Remember when I fucked it up? Let's see if I do it right this time. I've got a Major attacking me, okay? I'm going to see the Mage attack leave. I'm going to switch to range. I'm going to come here to the north. This will charge with the Manticore as well, because he can see me now. After the Ranger attacks, after I see his attack animation leave his body, we're going to slow it down here. Then we're safe to move, okay? Attack, switch to range, to the front of the pillar. This idiot starts getting pulled in, because he goes, oh no, where did Fritos go? I don't know what's going on anymore. Someone help. And he starts approaching. Ranger attacks. I switch to Mage. I clicked there first, but it's okay. I'm a professional. Switch to Mage. Run back in here. Bob's your uncle. Kill the Major. And notice I'm standing on this tile to create that wall, because 40 seconds is almost up. I'm creating that wall so nothing gets stuck. Walk it down. Good to go. Go ahead and fast forward here again. I trust that you don't need to see how to solve this. Okay, I got 2 guys on the south side of the pillar. What are their styles? It's range and range, so I want them to see me at the same time. I pray range, step out 1 tile, good to go. This tile is marked because with myopia 3, you can still attack, right? So I can stand on this tile, and I have myopia 2, so I can stand 1 or 2 back, I think, still. But with myopia 3, I can stand on this tile, or this tile, either of these guys, not get seen by who's over here, and attack the fucker in the back. I see him shoot up, step away. Like I said, you can attack on either of these 2 tiles. I see him shoot up, I step back. It's the little dance we play for the entire time. Again, going to fast forward this. Don't think there's a whole lot to talk about. We're not prayer flicking. We're just looking for when he shoots up in the air. Click away. One last time, for brevity's sake. He shoots up in the air. We click away. Easy peasy. What else we got here? Still plenty of supplies left on wave 6. This fucker's dead. I go to the north side of the pillar. Deal with the Manticore as normal. Manticore dies. Back to the starting spot. Look at that. Plenty of supplies left after wave 6 too. Myopia 3 here. You could make an argument to take Solar Flare if you know that you like Solar Flare. I just wanted to clear up the pool. Continue to this tile. Back. Uh-oh. a Manticore south. We've dealt with this before, though, okay? We're not going to worry about it. We're going to go all the way to this tile and start walking. Berserker. Control click to walk. I don't know if I said it before, but control click to walk is an option, I think, in the regular old RuneScape settings. So just go and enable that, and then control to walk. Always focus on Manticore, though. These guys aren't going to one-shot you, okay? The Manticore will one-shot you. Make sure that you're praying right against the Manticore. And then you can see here, I'm pulling him in, right? I go to this tile because he's out here and can see me. But when I go over to this corner, you'll see he walks his ass in here, kind of in line with our starting tile marker. This is my indication that he is close enough that with myopia 3, I can still range him. So even though my attack tile has been lowered by 4 or 6 or whatever it is, by 4, 6, I don't remember. It's been lowered a substantial amount. I don't have to worry about it. Uh-oh, Minotaur. Oh, wait, no. His brain is right here, southwest tile. He's stuck. Dumbass can't do anything. So we just sit, we prayer flick, deal with the Manticore as usual. He's dead. Favorite thing about Minotaurs and melees, I don't even have to pray. I'm not in a hurry. Are you in a hurry? This is my first cape, okay? I'm trying to make sure I get there. I'm not trying to speed run. I'm not cold one. I don't give a shit. I'm just going to turn my prayer off, left-click the monster, not care. What I was demonstrating there and here is, like I said earlier in the video, you can step 2 tiles out, not have to worry about it. Very easy. Lots of room here. This 2x2 tile here, these guys. Nice and easy. Just sit here and hang out. Minotaur's dead. So Minotaur, didn't really explain him. He'll melee you, smack you for a big number. I don't know what it is. Look at the Wikipedia if you care. He will also heal guys. How he heals them and like how he views them and sees them to heal, very strange. I'm not going to pretend to know how it works. Just know that if he's alive and you think he can see an enemy or one of his allies, I guess, if they're damaged, he's going to heal them back to full health. So Minotaur is always the priority after you duel south. That being said, why didn't he why didn't he heal up the Manticore while he was here? It's kind of what I mean by it's strange. If the Minotaur's here and you're dealing with a southwest solve, he will never heal the southwest guys. I don't know why. He can't see him. Doesn't matter. Just know that if he's stuck here, don't step 3 tiles out, deal with the south, and then you're good to go. We have a stack here, a big boy stack, but they're not the same attack this time. We got one guy in the back, he's going to attack with range. We got one guy in the front, he's going to attack with a mage. What do we do? Well, we're going to stand in the middle tile this time. Remember, previously I said that if you stand here and step out, they're going to see you at the same time. If you stand in the middle tile and you step out, 2 this time, right? Not just walking over there, but you stand in the middle tile and step out, you'll see. The ranger in the back will see you first, and then immediately afterwards, the major will see you. And so just like I've been talking about with the rest of this video, as soon as you see that attack animation start from the ranger, you're switching to mage. And we'll watch it a couple of times here. We'll get it down. I'm healing up because I'm not confident in my abilities. I don't want to get one-tapped. Chugging a range potion. Starting with range prayer. Click out. And there you go. That was fast. We're going to go back and we're going to slow down, okay? Starting with the range prayer. Stepping out. Our guy moves. And you'll see the range guy has started his animation, so we're clicking to mage. The mage guy has started his animation. We're clicking to range. And we're in cycle. Just like the Manticores, it's going to be 5 ticks. You see the range guy start, you switch to mage, switch back to range. We'll do it one more time in slow motion. Range guy starts his attack, switch to mage. Mage guy starts his attack, switch back to range. Very simple once you get the hang of it. Once you know what you're looking for. You don't have to count ticks. You don't have to suddenly feel 60 beats or 100 beats a minute internally for the rest of your life. You just got to know when the first guy attacks, switch to the second prayer. When the second guy attacks, switch back to your first prayer. Simple as. Normally we kill mages first. They're squishy, easy to kill, and they deal a lot of damage. So the sooner they're dead, the happier we are. Just a ranger left. We're good to go. All right, back to our starting tile. Once he's dead, what do we got? Now I'm going to take volatility. You'll see how they explode here. This does mean the Fremenics explode too. Again, another benefit of just control walking. You don't have to think about it. Don't give a shit. Continue. Tile. Back. Uh-oh. We've got a south spawn. He's going to see us. So what do we pray? Range. Keep the range prayer on. Okay. We're going to attack the Berserker and control walk. Attack the Berserker and Control Walk. Wherever he stops, that's where the explosion is going to come out. This is what I mean by 3x3 tile, right? One tile expanding outwards from his decaying corpse. We're going to attack the Major. And we're going to walk over here because he's starting to die and he's going to explode. Uh-oh. I don't know if this hits me or not. I don't think it does. But we finish up the Ranger, step away. You'll get a feel for it. You'll know when they start to die. You can see that he's all the way pulled in, back from when we were dealing with the Fremnix here. We stood on this tile long enough that he pulled all the way in. And so now, we just stand here, not worrying about myopia, not caring about a thing. Again, you can see previous me hovered the timer. Pay attention to the 40 seconds. When we start to get up there, move over to this row. Create that wall, and make sure the Minotaur can slide down unimpeded. Alright, he's stuck. Now even with the Ranger throwing javelins up, since he's a big boy, we've got a whole 2x2 place to work with. We can walk around, just hanging around on these two tiles, waiting for him to die. Speeding forward, we kill him. Kill the Minotaur. Alright, we have a Major back here, or we have a Major right here, a Manticore back here, and a Ranger right here. This is a triple stack, or a chode, whatever you want to call it. I also wanted to show this real quick. The Minotaur is a 3x3, right? So his explosion goes one tile out from that. It's a 5x5. Just make sure you're not standing anywhere near it. Looks like I'm going to choose to go here and attack the Major first. He is squishier. There's always a chance that you can just kill him before the Manticore even finishes charging up. Not likely, but possible. So I go out here and I start whacking him. I say, all right, what is the Manticore? Manticore's a Ranger. So I run back behind the pillar. I don't want them seeing me at the same time, because if they see me at the same time, it's the same as a Mage and a Ranger seeing me at the same time, and I can't pray against two things at once. I don't know about you guys. Maybe you got a cheat client. I can't do that. So I head back over to the other side. I say, this is basically two Rangers. We solved this before on Wave 3, or Wave 4. No, Wave 5. I don't remember what it was. We solved it earlier with two Rangers. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pray range. I'm going to step out one tile. Flick the Manticore. Easy peasy. There's your solve. And so I walk up to this tile, right? I did a good amount of damage to both of them. I was just fucking around, but walk up to this tile. I can hit the guy in the back, just making sure that I'm paying attention to the javelin and stepping away when he tosses it up. Manticore's dead. Cool beans. As long as you're flicking that way the entire time, you're in cycle, never have to worry about it. Deal with the Ranger. Again, step away. He's going to explode. Deal with the Major. Don't be near him. They will explode too. Everyone explodes. We got volatility on. Kaboom. Back to the starting tile. What do we got next? Re-entry, I said, is a no-go. Red flag makes it so the Minotaur never gets stuck. Please don't pick this. You will die. And solar flare, you'll see, has a little orb of light that rotates around the pillars. So you just can't stay next to the pillars or else it'll come and hit you. And then at wave 3, every single increase, 1, 2, and 3, it makes it go faster. And then on level 3, it turns your prayer off if it hits you. Taking solar flare, you'll see why it's not a big deal. We're going to click continue. We're going to click on our tile. Praying range. Click back. Welcome to wave 9. We're almost there. Attack the Berserker twice. There were no south spawns to worry about. Remember, he's going to explode, so walk away. This is that little orb that I'm talking about. I will try and remember to leave a highlight ID in the description below. Just make sure you don't get hit by him. Take care of the Major. Whack the Ranger. Same deal. So now in a BOWFA setup, you don't really have the damage to step out and deal with this. So what am I going to do? I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for the reinforcements. So we're just going to sit here and look deep into each other's eyes for another 3 seconds here. And here comes the Minotaur. Make sure that wall was put up so he doesn't get stuck. Down he comes. Easy peasy. All right, he explodes. We're going to step out praying range because we want to know what the Manticore is going to do. And uh-oh, this is our third and final solve that we're really going to have to care about. Okay? There's a Major in the back and a Ranger in the front. So previously it was a ranged Manticore and a Ranger, which you can just think of as two Rangers, right? Ranger and a Ranger in front. So we just stepped out to see them. And then alternatively, we had a Ranger in the back and a Major in front, but it was just two of them. And so we stood in this middle tile closest to the pillar and stepped out too. How do we solve this? Very similar, but in reverse. Very similar to the 2-stack, but in reverse. We can't step out from the middle tile closest to the pillar because they will see us at the same time and you will die. But for some reason, if you step one tile back, still in the middle, right? Not on either edge, but in the middle, and then you step out 2 tiles, the guy in the front will see you first. And we're going to slow this down here again, okay? And so what happens when they see you first? As soon as you step out praying whoever's going to see you first, so the ranger, and then as soon as their animation starts, you switch to the other guy. So we're going to be doing, say it before I do, right? Think about it. What are you going to do? Range, then deal with the Manticore. Mage, range, melee, right? As his balls are listed here. Mage, range, melee. So we're going to step out, and as soon as we see the animation start, we're just going to go range to mage to range to melee, and then back to range. Let's watch. Click. I see his animation start. I switch to mage, the mage ball leaves, I switch to range, the range ball leaves, I switch to melee, the melee ball leaves, I switch to range, and looks like I'm clicking to get a little bit closer, but at this point you could click on the guy. There you go, just like that. He attacks, the Manticore charges up, he attacks again, I switch to mage, the mage ball leaves, I switch to range, the range ball leaves, I switch to melee, the melee ball leaves, and I click one tile away because that fucker threw something up in the air and I don't want to get hit, and we're good to go. That's how you solve these waves, folks. And again, this is not something Reddit will teach you. This is not something I'll fucking teach you. This is not something that We Do Raids will teach you. You just gotta go in and you gotta do it. You gotta get the feel for it, okay? You gotta go in and actually play the game to get good at the game. Stop listening to me ramble. Click off the video. Fuck off. These are how these solves are done, guys. Just takes a little bit of practice. And the nice thing about the Colosseum is you can think about this shit, right? You can sit behind the pillar as long as you goddamn need. And think, okay, how do I solve this? What did Fritos say? What did my friends on Reddit say? Here we go with 2 Manticores. See me at the same time. They charge up at the same time. Manticores, I'm going to eat my words here because we have a weird thing that comes up next. Very rare what you're about to see. Fritos exclusive. But Manticores, if they see you at the same time, they'll charge up at the same time, but they'll never attack you at the same time. So you'll see that they automatically off-tick themselves. So with 2 Manticores seeing you, you're constantly doing this dance of mage, range, melee, mage, range, melee, mage, range, melee, you know, that kind of thing. But you don't have to move. You just got to focus on the prayer flicks. I'm going to fast forward this. You guys know what it looks like. Remember, we're not stepping towards them because they're volatile. They'll explode on you. Oh, that's another thing too. Looks like I was getting low on prayer. I decided, you know what? I can't handle this. I need to get out of here. I need to fuel up. So I just clicked behind the pillar when there was a break. Fueled on up. We want them to see me at the same time. So I step out on the north side. 1, 2, 3. Click. 1, 2, 3. Back into action. Alright, we kill him. We run back to our starting tile. Kaboom. What are we doing next? Re-entry, like I said, no go, not a fan. We could start taking it here, but it also has the potential to fuck things up. Dynamic duo makes it so that 2 mages spawn. Real men take this when you want to have fun, but you shouldn't be doing it as a learner. It'll really fuck up the waves. It can cause you to have double souths more often, sometimes triple souths in weird situations. They won't all see you at the same time, but you'll have 3 fuckers down there. Frailty 2 is really our only option. Not something I love to take on a budget run with low melee stats and gear, but hey, you do what you gotta do. That's randomness, that's the Colosseum. Welcome to Jagex, baby. Get equipped, get potted up. Don't like any of them, take Frailty. Continue. Continue. There you go, into a tile. Weird watching me back. This is the strange thing, okay? It's 2 Manticores double south. Now, they'll see me, and they'll choose the same thing. But because of how something lined up here, and you can kind of see it the way that they stop, they saw me at different ticks, and so they're charging up on different ticks, right? 1 leaves, and then these 2 leave at the same time, impossible to pray against. These 2 leave at the same time, impossible to pray against. Should generally never happen. Very rare. I think it's because I walked towards this side too fast. We can look again. Like, you could see how they, like, unstuck themselves, right? Like you can see like their animation jitters just a little bit. One tick after another. Turns around, this guy jitters, then this guy. I don't know. It's very hard to see. Point is they saw me off tick. But we don't have to panic, okay? I definitely got chanced. But what if this happens to you? What if any south spawn happens and you're getting fucked up? What did we talk about in the beginning? Run north, man. Both the guys up here are rangers. Pray range. Who gives a shit? You now have 40 seconds, I guess 20 seconds at this point. 20 seconds to deal with what you got going on. Whip this bitch into shape and get out of the way because it's volatile. There you go. These guys toss the javelin up. Move it. But now, we have a regular pillar solve, right? Just like if we were to solve these guys, you know, it's the exact same when we've rotated the pillar. Not in every case, but just in the situation that I'm explaining to you here. If you run to the north side of this pillar, and you got two guys here, if there's a major in the back and a ranger in the front, what do? You stand in the middle tile, jump out, praying mage first, and then range. If you got two rangers, what do? Stand on this tile, step out, praying range. They'll see you at the same time. Don't have to worry about it. If you got two range manticores, what do? That's right. Pray range, step out. Now, it was definitely panic-inducing. I should have died. But you're going to die a lot, too. Just to that. Sometimes south spawns, they just clap you, man. That's how it goes. That's part of the disadvantage to using this side of the pillar. But hey, we're good to go, okay? The manticores are all the way pulled in. You'll be able to reach this guy. As long as they're ass to ass here all the way up to the pillar, you'll be able to reach this guy with myopia. So what do? You just sit here, you strap in. I should repot. Oh, there I go. I do it. Little heart pounding there if you're doing this as your first quiver and something like this winds up happening, or if you have to do a double south. But that's just kind of that's the way of it. That's the fun of it, right? So if you can muster up the courage, go back to your inventory and click that range potion to repot up. But deal with the manticores. Like I said, you know, if it's a major in the back, if it's a ranger in the back or a major in front, step out from the middle tile. If they are doing the same thing, step out from the tile closest. It's just like doing a regular solve. I think here I was scared or didn't know if I could attack the Manticore. Or yeah. I wanted to make sure, so I, you know, again, being safe. I waited for the Manticore to be done. Prayed range just in case I did get pulled out. But plenty of room. You can still hit the fucker. Good to go. Manticore dies. He explodes, but he's way off in the boonies, so don't have to care. I think I was busy talking to Reynolds at this point, and so I went AFK for like 3 minutes. Another bonus of doing Colosseum, man, is you can just not give a shit. You can step away for a little bit. They're not going to come and get you. Killed the Minotaur. Prayed range as the guy was coming down. Easy peasy. It's just two rangers behind the pillar there, so step on out. They see you at the same time. Right, as long as we're from this row all the way furthest, we can just jump on out and start killing them. I'm speeding past this. You guys know what's going on. You know how to camp range prayer and kill them. But as soon as they're dead, where do we go? We go back to our starting tile. And what do we got? We got Volatility 2, Solar Flare 2, or Bees. It's not going to be Bees, I'll tell you that much. Looks like we're picking Solar Flare 2. Speeds up the Solar Flare orb a little bit. We click Continue. We click our tile. Off we go. Praying range. What do we got? Oh, God, it's another double south. What the fuck do we do? Let's find out. We're not going to panic. We're going to pray mage first. We're going to kill the berserker. We're going to run to the front, okay? Did you see that? He had already attacked. I switched to range, and I ran up here, right? Panicking a little bit. But okay, now the Manticore is all charged up. We can't sit around here much longer, okay? We can sit up here for a little bit and pray range against this one guy, but we can't sit around here for a long time. We know that there's a mage here and a mage Manticore all charged up and ready to go. So what are we doing? We're switching back to mage, stepping out. They see us at the same time. Let's watch that back in slow motion. The whole thing, all panic concluded. We're at half speed. I see. I go, fuck. Double south again. This is just my luck. Jagex hates me. We're praying mage, though. We're going to right-click, attack the Berserker. There's plugins so that you can recolor this, too, to make it easier for yourself if you'd like. But I see them charge up. It's Mage and Mage. I'm going to run to the top here, praying range, just to get my bearings a little bit. But not for too long, because this Manticore is charging up, and he's Mage too. So I see him attack, I switch to Mage, and I step out. Mage, into range, into melee, back into Mage. And there we go. Continuing to walk around. Again, I'll take damage. I'll take damage all day long from volatility and from Fremnix, as long as I'm not getting clapped by these guys, as long as I'm not missing my prayers. Okay, so we have one last thing to worry about. If the Mage comes down, will he line up with all of these guys? Generally, a lot of the times, yes. In this situation, we didn't have to care about it. It's like I talked about with the previous reinforcements on Wave 4. When the Manticore came down, we had the Mage, right? Just one of those things to pay attention to. Again, with a double south and a Mage down here, when you have 3 guys at once, it can suck, and that's when we book it to South Pillar. And I'll show you how to rotate here. We don't have to rotate in this situation. I'm not going to. I'm going to finish up my south here, okay? We got the Major. And I'm noodling on him. There we go. We can hit 1 damage, thank God. 200 mil, by the way. Gonna pot up now that we're not panicking so much. We're gonna step to our safe row, our myopia safe row. Deal with the flicks. Drink on up. Click the fucker. Bob's your uncle. Gonna skip past this. You don't need to see it. When we start killing the Minotaur. Minotaur's dead. Great. We switch to Mage. Mage is dead. Great. What do we do if we decide to rotate? If we're panicking, right? Well, if it's double south, time to book it. I do recommend Din's Bulwark a lot. You can just toss that on and suddenly you have plus 200 and some range defense. Just pray Mage, fuck off. You generally won't die. It's a really busted item. It's awesome. Anyway, if you have the opportunity to rotate from pillar, or you can see what the flicks are, or you're like more comfortable with doing the off-ticking and stuff, right here I'm lining up and I'm going, okay, range first and then Mage. Range, Mage, melee. Back to range. Range, I'm just pausing here to demonstrate, but range, Mage, range, melee, right? It's the same thing. I only stopped to demonstrate that they'll stay in cycle here. This is where you're going to go on the south pillar. So I'm going to slow that down again just a little bit. Not a lot of it. But we're going to get into position here. We're going, something's unsolvable. The Minotaur's stuck. I don't know what's going on. I'm scared. And we're going to click, and we're just going to run all the way to the south pillar. Please ignore my stopping here. I'm a goofy goober. I see him attack. I'm flicking. I'm paying attention to them. Generally, if you're running all the way, you're only going to have to worry about flicking in the initial time, and then we're going to sit behind this pillar and see what happens. All right? They stay kind of in line. Whoever was in the front is going to come to the north side, and then whoever is on top, he's going to peel himself off, and you only have to deal with 1 guy. Now, honestly, with almost all of your solves, you could do it this way. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you don't want to deal with 2-stack solves ever, just rotate to your heart's content. I don't give a fuck. I'm not your dad. Once they're peeled apart, you just go ahead and range them down. Done. Easy peasy. Same deal here. Step back on out, and because wave 11 is over, we don't have to go back to our starting tile. It is time for Daddy Soul. There are a couple more solves that, you know, like I said at the beginning, this is just such an in-depth piece of content. I'm not going to be able to outline all of the solves, but there's a couple of things that I'd like to show, and so I'm going to try and grab some clips of them, probably in max gear, but just to show, like, de-stacking a triple stack, or like what happens if you get a 3x3 and a 1x1 Mage here. There's a special way to off-tick them. I'll show some of that at the end, but let's hop into Soul and see what happens. So what do we want to know about Soul? Generally, you're only going to get modifiers that actually affect the next wave, right? So you'll never get like Manti Mayhem on a wave where there's no Manticore, so 1 through 3. Same with Soul. You'll only get things that affect him. Quartet will spawn a Fremnik with him. Don't want that. That's very annoying. Frailty, it's going to knock my max HP down to 60. Certainly don't want that. Solar Flare 3, when you do have Solar Flares, they do show up inside Soul's Arena. So of the 3, this is the best pick. But as I said previously, Solar Flare 3 will turn off your prayer when you get hit by him. Nothing really to worry about in Soul. Just keep it in mind. There's a very rare instance where you're doing one of his special attacks, and it can turn the prayer off and get you, but very rare. Just don't stand in the path of the Solar Flare and you won't have to worry about it. So we're picking Solar Flare and clicking continue. I skipped past it already, but we're potting up with a super combat, and then we're just putting on our Dragon Defender and our ornamented whip kit, or our ornamented whip. The one downside of this build, of how this works is you don't get a lot of melee strength bonus, so the soul fight is a hell of a lot longer. Like I said, this is generally just to get in there and learn the waves with a really cheap budget setup that doesn't have a large death fee. However, if you get all the way there, no reason not to send it, right? I mean, fuck it. Who knows? I highly, highly recommend looking up the Soul Heritage Simulator on Google. I don't remember who made it. I don't know what it's by. I think it's the same guys who do the Inferno Simulator. If you're not above that, go and just practice the fight. You know, it's a hell of a lot of fun in the simulator. It's probably the most fun standalone boss fight in the game. It sucks that it's at the at the end of a 12-wave piece of content. I'd do Soul Heritage all day long. But go practice in the simulator so that the nerves are a little bit less when you're here and you kind of know what you're doing. But for those of you who are completely fresh watching this guide, let's get into it. Praying Piety. He's going to jump down. If it's your first time, he's going to have a little dialogue box, but we're going to spam click, and we're going to whip him. Now, every single time he attacks, he's going to thrust his spear forward and create a pattern on the ground, and you don't want to get hit by the pattern, okay? The way to indicate between the two of these attacks is he's either going to pull his spear back and lunge forward, or he's going to lift his shield up and slam it down. Now, if he does this twice in a row, right, like he does a spear once, and then he does a spear again, it's going to change the pattern. Or if he does a shield once, or in his shield again, it's going to change the pattern. We call these shield 1, shield 2, spear 1, spear 2. In this instance, he's pulling his spear back, he's shooting forward, and for spear 1, this is your pattern. You can either step to here is safe, or here is safe. Generally, because we clicked on him and ran straight forward to him, we're just going to step back into this safe tile, click on him, and step right back in. He's doing spear again. This is the pattern, okay? It's inverted of what it was before. So the places that were safe previously, now dangerous. The places that were dangerous previously, fine to go now. So I clicked over here, clicked back into him. I'm going to watch that one more time. Spear 1. The audio's all fucked up. Sorry about that. Stepped into a safe zone. Whacked him again. Pulling it back. Clicking it back into a safe spot because it was spear 2. Clicking into the safe zone. What's next? Spear 1. So there's only spear 1 and spear 2. Those are the only two permutations you'll see. Back to the start. Same pattern as when we started. That'll be the rotation. Where to next? He just did spear 1, so it must be spear 2. Back into it. Throughout the fight, he's got a lot of different breakpoints. When he says something overhead, generally, he's ragging the floor and putting these little pillars up. Up to 4 of them. It'll start on 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, all 4 sides of the square arena that you're in. Occasionally, they'll stop and shoot a laser beam out. They're very heavily telegraphed. We'll see them. Spear 1. This is his first special. He's going to start charging his spear up, and then when you see like kind of this tip, honestly, it's a feel thing, but when you see this tip, you pray melee, then turn it off immediately. Then 3 ticks later, turn it off immediately. And 3 ticks later, again, you can see like the glint on his spear here. Melee, and turn it off again. Real quick, just to watch that over again. Easy peasy. Every time that he does a special attack, he's going to reset what he was doing. So if it was spear 1 previously, which it was, I believe, right? Spear 1, let's check. So he rags the tiles. Ragging the tiles doesn't change it, but he does spear 1. And so you'd expect another spear after this to be spear 2, but because he did a special attack, it resets again. So if he pulls back to do a spear here, it's going to be spear 1 again. That makes sense? Then spear 2. Shield 1. This is what shield 1 looks like. You step back 1 tile. Anywhere 1 tile away. This is what shield 2 looks like. Step back 2 tiles. And then click right back onto him. Shield 1. We're going to do that one more time, just real slow. Shield 1. Click. Shield 2. And click. Spear 1 into spear 2, just like that. Shield 1. Back in. And you see, I kind of like pre-hover. Like after it's shield 1, right? I know that I'm going to have to go back 2 tiles, regardless of whether it's spear 1 or not. Or whether it's spear 1 or shield 2. Because 2 tiles back will be safe for both of them. So he's ragging some more tiles. I like to rotate around to this side of him on the west here. Rotate my camera. It's the same deal. The reason I go over here is because it positions him nicely away from the solar flare, right? The solar flare is going to rotate around here. No matter where I'm going into the safe zones, it's not going to bug me. Now remember, he did spear 1 here, and then he ragged the tiles. But ragging the tiles doesn't count as a special attack, so it doesn't interrupt it. We're going right into spear 2. This was honestly, the reason I'm harping on that is because honestly for me, that was like one of the hardest things to remember. I'd take that damage all the time. Special attacks interrupt the spear 1, spear 2 pattern. Ragging tiles does not. This is what those laser beams look like. It'll always line up in a way that you can dodge it. Usually tick perfect though. The laser beams light up, and then a couple of seconds later, it'll shoot a ball down. That's going to do a lot of damage to you. Like hits like 70s or some shit. But I stepped out of the way, it fired, I see that he's doing shield 1, into the safe zone, right back into it. Spear 1, right back into it. Special attack again, 1, 2, 3. And we're in cycle, baby. We're feeling good, okay? A lot of the time, you don't even have to think about the lasers. They're going to hit someplace else. There's a mistake there. What happens when you do a mistake? You don't panic. You avoid taking further damage, and you click yellow when you can. Okay, don't even have to worry about it. When he says you can't win, that's your halfway mark. I think he always says you can't win, but that's your halfway mark. He's at 50% HP, which means that his special attack with the melee praying that you've been seeing changes. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to delay it just a little bit on that third prayer. You'll see it here in a little bit, I'm sure. Fucked up again. Remember, ragging tiles does not break the pattern. Spear 2 was always going to happen there. This is another. Have your inventory hotkeyed to something on your keyboard, like F5 or 5 for me. He says, I'm going to break your back. I say, Daddy, please. And I open my... He says, I'm going to break your back or your legs or your feet or whatever. He's going to select a body part. You're going to open it. You're going to click that body part, and it's going to null the damage. If you don't do it fast enough, he is going to break your back. Now, there is something called a perfect parry. If you click it at the same time that his hand touches you, like this, your next hit will be guaranteed to max hit. So watch that one more time without my yapping. Click. Easy peasy. Very simple. And a good way to have damage. If you're feeling more confident, want to bring like spec weapons in, like Burning Claws or some shit, it's always going to max hit with Burning Claws. That's a good feeling. If you bring Scythe in, best in slot here, a max hit Scythe, it's tasty. Uh-oh, laser beams. I'm not going to panic, though. Wait for him to fire, then click to the tile. Alright, I told you, the third one's delayed. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Jesus Christ, let me try that again for you without ragging you. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Click. There you go. Something like that, right? Just count in your head, get that delay, know that if he's below 50%, he's going to try and trick you on that last one. Tiles weren't exactly friendly. Honestly, I should have rotated to this side, but it's okay. Same deal. Except this time, I'm just going to, instead of attacking right away, I wanted to drag him down a little bit. So, I clicked over here, let him do his attack, and then I didn't hit him right away. I let him walk up to me. And if I remember correctly, I flounder quite a bit here. Another wonderful example of no matter how many times you do it, sometimes you still fucked up. Or sometimes you still fuck up. And so it's nice to have a lot of supplies. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Click. I was a little quick there, but again, you get the gist. He's going to break my back again. Daddy, please. Perfect parry. Whip him for a 46. Let's end this. He's in the enrage phase. At this point, and it's not a very long phase, but at this point in the enrage phase, he will start ragging tiles every couple of ticks. Usually he will be dead fast enough that it will not matter. Remember, don't get hit by the laser beams, so step back. Yeah, here we go. I'm floundering quite a bit here. But remember, don't worry about the damage, just worry about the attack cycle. What's he doing? That was shield 2, so we're doing shield 1. We're walking back in. That's spear 1, so we're walking back in. Oh god, more lasers. How unfriendly. Shield 1, step 1 tile away. What are we doing next? It's a special. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's dead already, so it doesn't matter. Alright, folks. Look at that. Beautiful ass. Delicious. What do we get? I think it was a decent loot. 3 echo crystals and a 2 mil quiver. Alright, I'm going to turn it over to a Fritos from a different timeline, or from a different point in time, I mean. Fuck Marvel, fuck multiverse stuff. I'm going to turn it over to a different Fritos and cover some different solves. But if you enjoyed this, I hope it was helpful. Well, again, 21k death fee. You're really not getting punished for going in and just trying this. Highly, highly recommend it. Alright, see you in a bit. Mwah. Alright, this is a triple stack. I mentioned it earlier in the video. We stand on this tile here, and we go, uh-oh. There's a mage and a ranger. He's going to see me at the same time, or they're both going to see me at the same time. What the fuck do I do, right? We got this tile marked and this tile marked. You know, it's like 2 off, or over here, I'll have a tile pack. Or you can use your eyes. It's not that difficult. Anyhow, we can pray against either range or mage, have piety on for the defense bonuses, and you'll do as you see here. Just click. Then we're going to wait for him to completely unstuck himself, right? I prayed against mage, I took a range hit, and then I run immediately back, switch to range. I think I take another hit here. Oops. And we walk him down, just like that. We're going to go back one last time. We're going to look at it again. Half speed here. We click out. Completely unstuck himself, and then click on back. And then stay on this row so that he walks himself down. Over we go. In hindsight, probably should have prayed against the ranger in the back, just so that we could keep range prey on and not wind up taking 2 hits, but you get the gist. That's how you destack. Alright, hello. I had to artificially create this, so you're not going to see it from the start of the wave, but every once in a while, in the first 1 to 6 waves, you can wind up with a ranger and a small mage down here. And you can't wiggle him loose like you normally would. You can't step out from this tile, or else they'll see at the same time. For whatever reason, what you're going to want to do, and this is what the other tiles are for, is this is the north side of the pillar. Stand here, pray against whoever's in the back, whether it be the ranger or the major. Sometimes there's like a major right here. And you're just going to click over here. Range sees you first, switch to mage. That's a regular old solve from there. Range first, and then into mage. Another instance here. This is pretty self-explanatory, but mage in the back, a ranger, or a manticore in the front, even though it's just a 1-tile guy, as soon as he starts attacking, regular old solve from there, right? Mage is attacking the back, animation starts, switch to the manticore, easy peasy. Sometimes you'll have a meleeer that'll get stuck behind a guy right here. Can happen with a Minotaur, can happen with a Jaguar. Just pray against whatever can see you, run all the way out until he's unstuck. My dog just burped in the background, and then run back behind the pillar. This isn't really a solve, but it is something to take note of. Sometimes enemies can get stuck behind this far pillar here, and this is why we always solve on the south side of the pillar, right? Because their brain can technically see me, they're not going to do anything. I can go all the way 2 tiles out. If I go 3 tiles out, he's going to start walking down. Conversely, if I step out just 1 tile, he's going to try and get his brain lined up, and he's going to start coming down. Another thing of note with this tile, you need to unstick the majors. You can come down here, get them unstuck, switch to mage, lock them down just like that. Standing in the middle tile, gonna run out. Range sees me first, then mage. Range sees me first, then mage. Okay, so I couldn't really get a good example of this, so I just want to show it here. But sometimes the mage comes down before the Minotaur, right? And so all you have to do is, the mage will be blocking him, even with myopia 2 or 3. You just come down to this tile here, and then attack the Minotaur. Kill him first, because obviously if you're trying to attack the mage, he'll wind up healing the mage infinitely. So you just stand here with your BOWFA, attack the Minotaur. Not visually great, but a pretty simple concept. And then here's an example. Again, I don't fully recommend this, but I don't know what's going on here, right? And so I'm just going to drink up, overheal. I know that there's a major and a ranger and a manti. I don't want to solve this. As long as I stay 1 or 2 tiles, it'll hold all the way through here, and the Minotaur won't deal with it. Usually you just kill the Minotaur, but I'm just, for sake of covering everything, we can keep the Minotaur stuck here, and we can rotate south simply by clicking here. And we're going to take some damage, right? They're going to see us at the same time. Can't help it. Or we'll just tank it all like a goddamn beast. Perfect south run here. The ranger's going to see me first, and then the major. Ranger, then major. These guys aren't off tick by 1, but you guys get the gist. And then because the Minotaur is so far away, nothing even to think about. He can't even come and heal these guys. And step here to pull him in. Simple. And again, all these examples were in max, but just pretend I had a BOWFA on. Alright, I love you all very much. That should cover pretty much everything. I'm sure I've forgotten stuff. There's so many different solves, so many different ways that this content can be done. If you have questions, please leave them down in the comments below. I will happily answer all of them. I love you all very much. Bye-bye.